In this video, we're going to be diving into 3 things every website should have. What's up, friends? Paul here, and welcome to The Beautiful Mess, where we talk about tools and tactics to improve your life. I'm a creative director, a YouTuber, podcaster, and I'm excited today to dive into one of the things I do on a somewhat regular basis is design websites. And one of the key things about designing a website is that you want to make sure it's easy to navigate, people can get what they need, and it's clean. There's not many things distracting from achieving the accomplishment, while at the same time you want to create emotional connection with your audience so they feel part of your community or they understand what you offer and how that can help them move forward with their journey in life. So it's definitely something that I'm passionate about. If you haven't noticed, whether it's software or websites, just a good user experience makes a world of difference. So that's something I'm a big fan of, as well as one of the things that if you heard of Donald Miller, he's a business coach / he writes these books. He just has all this wealth of knowledge. He makes courses. But one of the things that he has about websites is that it should pass a Grunt test. And what is a Grunt test? Basically, if you land on a website, you should be easily able to understand what the service or product that is being offered. And there should be an easy way for someone to get that service or product. So that it's like if a caveman landed on your site, he could say, you sell coffee, super simple. It's like a no-brainer. I know exactly what you offer and how to get it. So I'm going to be diving into, in this episode, 3 of the things that I look for that make a difference for your website. Some of these might be more tailored to certain websites, but in general, most of these will help you no matter what industry you're in, what your service is, what your product is, whether you're an e-commerce website or you're offering a service or you're just a nonprofit organization, whatever it is, these 3 elements I think will help you with accomplishing your goals, whether that's more leads, sales, just getting people involved in your organization, you name it. We're going to be diving into those 3 elements. So without further ado, make sure you subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to the podcast, whether you're listening on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you listen, Spotify, you name it. Just hit the subscribe button or follow button, whatever button it is, like it, share it with your friends, share it with your uncle, share it with your cousins, whoever you want to share it with whoever wants to build a website. This episode is for them. Anywho's, let's dive into the 3 elements of a good website. So first element, and I think this is actually one of the most important things, is social proof. What is social proof? Basically, when you go to a restaurant, let's say, typically speaking, before you go to that restaurant, you might search on Google or you might search on Yelp. I personally prefer Google, but that's whatever it is. But you see reviews of this service or product. Same thing with Amazon. You go on Amazon, you're looking for a product. What do you look at? The reviews. That's the number one thing I look for is the reviews. Is this product vetted by a number of people? So yeah, you go to all these different places to look for reviews, and testimonials are probably one of the key factors in converting someone to opt in to your service, to your business, to your organization. So having social proof, and there's a variety of methods, and we're going to dive into each of those methods that you can use to have that proof. But I think that if you add social proof to your website, you should see a boost in your conversion rate, in your opt-in rate. So let's dive into what those examples could be. But basically, at the heart of it is it just shows information that proves that your product, service, or organization is providing value, real value in the world, because there's other people that have experienced it and they want that same thing. Often people are struggling with something. And if they can see other people that have gotten the results that they're looking for, it's a no-brainer. They're like, okay, I see that this person who's successful, or this person had this issue, but now they don't. I want to see what's up with that. So some examples of social proof can include testimonials. These can be done in a variety of ways. You can have videos on your website. You can have text reviews with like ratings if they gave you a rating. Obviously, don't inflate things. Make sure that they're true, but definitely ask your customers, people that have worked with you, for these testimonials. Oftentimes, they're happy to give it to you. So if you don't already have like a Google My Business or a place where you capture these reviews, I would suggest reaching out to some of your current clients or people that you've worked with in the past and ask them for reviews. Often they're very happy to help you with that. Another way to do that is, again, reviews or ratings. So maybe you're on like a website like Trustpilot, Amazon, all these different sites that give you reviews and ratings. You can show that, like you can say, we have X number of reviews with this rating. So maybe you have a 4.7 stars, and you can say like, okay, so we've had 1,000 reviews at 4.7. So that then people can see, okay, a lot of people have tried this product. A lot of people have rated it. It's probably a good thing to check out. So, and here's a pro tip with social proof is some people, they bury it down on the website. That's like the bottom of the page. I was actually looking at a buddy of mine's website, and we noticed that his testimonials were at the very bottom. And I was like, you probably want to move that up further, because it's something that people look for when they're on a website, and whether they know it or not, like it helps make their decision either easier, hopefully easier. And so you want to make sure that, this is a pro tip, have one social proof above the fold. And when I say above the fold, what that means is that when you land on the website, whether on your phone or on desktop, you can see a social proof element on that site. So that can be done in a variety of ways. One way I've seen a lot is you have a call to action in the top right, and then a call to action in the hero section. So the hero section, again, is like the thing that you see first and foremost on a website. And so right next to that button in the hero section, there will be maybe like a little text that says like, 500 plus organizations have worked with us, or, 1,000 4.7, star reviews. Basically something that shows people right away that there's social proof that your product delivers. And that another way could be logos. You could have logos right sort of on the border of the hero section. It doesn't have to be in the hero section necessarily, but right below it. That's another way to do it. But making it very easy for people to see that. Maybe you highlight one or two testimonials right below the hero section. But make sure that it's easy for people to see that. And then number 2, this might seem like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised at how many websites don't have these, or it's not easy to find. What I'm talking about is call to actions. What are call to actions? These are basically the buttons, the interactions that you want to have with your customer. You want to say, hey, I want you to get this product and service. This is how you do it. So click here. It's very simple. It's depending on your industry or what you're offering, it can look drastically different. Some people put buy now. Some people say free 30-minute consultation. Some people say contact us. It depends on your industry, but you want to make it something that's aligned with what you're offering or what they're going to be doing. So if you're selling something, buy now probably makes sense. Another one that just in general that you could use is get started. That's like a typical website. You see it everywhere. So there's a bunch of different options, but just having clear call to actions. Again, in the hero section, the first part of your website, you want to have one in the top right and then in the main hero section. So it just reaffirms, because people scan websites. They don't really read websites. They'll like quickly, move their eyes across the website. And usually it's like a matter of seconds that they decide whether or not they want to continue looking at your website or not. Again, the Grunt test. You want to make your headlines nice and clear so that people understand what you're offering and how to get it. And the other thing that goes along with having clear CTAs, and don't just think that you need it in the hero section. Reaffirm in the different sections of your site that you want people to opt in, because you'd be surprised that like if you have it just in the top, people scroll down and they might get confused. They're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? This is great information. I like the product. Where do I click? And so you're making it easy for them. You're helping them make that decision. And so always try to have it wherever people can see. And something that you want to keep in mind, here's a pro tip, is keep your forms as short as possible. Some people like to make them really lengthy, and it's if you need that, that's one thing. If you find that that's really helpful, but keep in mind that every single field that you add, you're going to decrease your opt-in rate or conversion rate, whichever you're trying to go for. So having your forms as short as possible and packed as possible can make a big difference in your conversion rates. And so my suggestion to you is only ask for the information that you actually need. Do you need their phone number? Because maybe you just need their name and email address. That's it. So keep this in mind when you're building out your forms or building out the functionality for these opt-ins or whatever they're clicking on. Many times people have a contact us form, an inquiry form. Maybe it's your purchase page. But this reminds me of the example of Amazon when Jeff was, I don't know if he met with these people or like, basically there's a story about how Amazon was having their checkout, and basically before they had to click each time, like they'd fill out one field, click next, fill out another field, click next. And I can't remember who suggested it, but basically like, let's just put it on one page. And so that just made it so much easier. And it really helped with their offering, having it all concise as possible. So keep that in mind. Don't make it all drawn on. If you can make it shorter, make it shorter. It'll make everyone happier, and you'll more likely get additional leads than you would if you make it longer and more complicated for someone to fill out. And number 3 section of a website that I would encourage you to have is the process section. So this is basically gives people the steps that it takes to do business with you, whether that means buying your product or whether that means getting started with your service. Make it as simple as possible. One of the things that Donald Miller talks about is like, you want to help people burn as few calories as possible to understand your product, to get what they need. Like you just want to have your website like in a manner that like it's a no-brainer, where they don't have to think too much, because when they think, it causes friction. And so you want to make it an easy decision for them to make. So you can create a simple 1, 2, 3 steps, depending on what let's say you're offering a service. So the first step might be get in touch. So you can list out, how this helps them. Like by getting in touch, we can offer you a tailored solution that'll help boost your results in this area. And there might be a free consultation button below that so that they can get started there. And then number 2 might be that they receive a proposal or a quote for those services, and then they have to opt in. They have to purchase the buy-in, basically. And then number 3, you get the end result. You get the website. You get the product. You get basically what you're hoping for. So in 3 easy steps, all of a sudden, that hope, that dream that they had can become a reality. They now are equipped with the information to make an informed decision, and it becomes easier for them. So again, what you want them to understand is 1, what you offer, and 2, how to get it. They make that process as simple as possible so people can easily follow this 3 simple step. Obviously, these 3 elements will definitely help your website. There's other things that you should keep in mind when building out a website. So when you decide you want to build a website, you can either do it yourself. There's many different services out there that can help you do that. Some examples include Squarespace, Shopify. If you're e-commerce, that's a great platform. You have WordPress. That's a classic, but it's a little bit more tedious depending on, it's a little bit more upkeep. I'll say that because you have plugins that you need to update. There's perhaps a little bit more security issues that can come with that. And then number 4, you might consider Webflow. Webflow is probably one of my favorites. There's newer similar services like Framer. I'll try to see if I can leave links to some website builder platforms that you might consider. And obviously you can hire a professional, people that do this on a regular basis. They know what you should include, what not to. And the final thing I'll say is try to keep your navigation as clean as possible. And whatever you can, there's a section at the bottom of the website that I like to call the junk drawer. Just put anything that doesn't need to be in the top nav in your junk drawer in the bottom of your website. So yeah, if you are looking to build a website, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to learn more about your project and see if I can help you in any way. And that's it. What about your website? Do you currently have social proof? Do you currently have clear call to actions? And then finally, do you have a simple 3-step process for people to get what you offer? Would be interested in hearing what your website is. And feel free, if you want me to check out your website, drop a link in the comments in YouTube, Facebook, wherever you can. And I'd be happy to check it out and provide you with some feedback. And until next time, my friends, stay messy.